Hello YouTube, today I bring you a very nice video, make you want to have sexy time. Oh man, aren't you guys glad I just stick to a normal basic intro all the time? But I told you, every once in a while I'm going to bring in one of these crappy intros just to keep things different, and that was definitely the crappiest yet. But let's move on to today's video, and today's video is going to be another callouts video, and this time we're on Tehran Highway. But before we get into the actual callouts themselves, if you look through some of these images or any of my past videos and you say, man, these callouts could have been better if he would have done this, or I wish he would have called this place that, or, you know, change anything in there, you can get involved, you can help me out, and you can make these better. Okay, all you have to do is either follow me on Twitter, follow me on Facebook, or follow my photobucket. I don't even know if you can do that. But what I do before I put these videos up is I make these images and I post them to photobucket, all there for anyone to see. What you guys can do is you can look through them and say, man, let me edit this or let me change that. Then you just send me a message on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook, or even on photobucket. And then if I think it's a good change, I'm going to make the change and I'm going to give you credit. So for this time, I want to thank Levaro1993. He helped me out, gave me a few ideas here, and I did take some of those changes and implement them in the video. Alright, so let's start looking at what we have on the screen here. I mean, this looks a little crowded, doesn't it? Well, what I want to do is I want to show you, if you really want to get detailed, you can label every single building. And I mean, it helps to have every single building labeled, but with a lot of maps, it's hard to memorize all those. So what I'm going to do is highlight some of those right here in my nerd green. These highlighted ones are the ones that I think really will come in handy and really will help you, especially as a defender. When you're attacking, you can still just focus on using B and Alpha and focusing on those sides. Some of these callouts aren't very specific because this part of the map is only used in Rush. It's not used in any other game modes, so you can use some things not as descriptive as you might if you're using an area that is used for a whole bunch of different game modes. So, looking at here, you want to make sure you have the sides figured out. Well, we have attacker side and we have defender side, but you also want to be able to discriminate left and right better than that. And you could say Bravo side, Alpha side, but still, we like to go with sort of North Rocks, South Rocks, and we just sort of orienting ourselves around that. And then you can see we have some different pathways, and those are where you're going to mainly see the vehicles coming in. So we're going to start with the dirt roads in the back, and then we're going to have number 5, Bravo Pass, we have the Middle Pass, and we have Alpha Pass. There's a lot of buildings and sheds all around the objectives. We really try to make sure that each type of building has a name, and we always use that name for it. So like trailers. Trailers are in a whole bunch of different game modes. A building like that is always called a trailer. Sheds. You see sheds in a whole bunch of different maps. We always call it a shed. Anyway, the building where the objectives are, or they're actually right outside, is going to be Bravo Office and Alpha Office. And in between those, we call it Bravo Trailer, just because it's still sort of in the Bravo vicinity. And there are a whole bunch of other ones there for you to look at. And you can look at them, you can sort of play with them, figure them out what you want to do, and they can come in handy. Me and my friends do use them, especially when defenders or even attackers get behind you and they're hiding in those back places, 17, 15, and number 20, 11, whatever. Those areas, they can be effective because they can get some line of sight onto you when you're trying to get the objective. But here, I'm not going to go through all the callouts. I just sort of want to emphasize ones I think are important, or as we get on through this video, some of the ones that might be a little confusing. Hopefully you'll look through them though, you'll take some of them to heart, you'll use some of our methods of naming, you and your team will be really effective and you'll have a lot of fun. So, that is all of Zone 1, Hilltop Base. Let's drop into Zone 2, which is another one of those zones where it is only used in Rush. Okay, so here we've got the attacker side on the left, we got defender side on the right, and we have these rocks, okay? There's a lot of stuff going on there. You'll see number 1, Hilltop Office. That is an office. Some snipers will sit up there and the different windows are on the roof and they'll snipe down at the objective. It gets involved in a little bit of different game modes. It's pretty easy just saying the Hilltop Office. We come down, we have the road, and then we also have Bravo Trail. That's just because it sort of leads right to Bravo Garage. Right in front of Bravo Garage, we do have the security booth. And now we're going to get to the Overwatch rocks, and these rocks are pretty crucial because, a lot of attackers or even defenders who are sort of pushed up are going to be in this area, and it's got great lines of sight on Bravo and Alpha Crate. So it's a really important area. So here we have general Overwatch rock. But then we can divide it up, okay? They can go all the way up to Zone 1, and that's sort of at the very top, still in Zone 1. They can be all the way up there, or they can be on the top side, mid side, or lower side, okay? You can get a little more specific, but there is sort of ridges going across, and that can sort of just help you identify how far up on these Overwatch rocks are they. And then, we got a few other ones there that you're welcome to look through and take advantage of. Let's drop down into Zone 3. And wow, this one looks pretty crazy. There's a lot going on here. So I'm going to try to break it down for you a little easier, okay? First, we will start with number 1. That's the Nook. Okay, we just call that the Nook. It's a little area which is in a lot of different game modes. Just as this part of the map, this is in a ton of game mode. Look at the top right. We have both squad rush crates are around here. We have 3 conquest flags all sort of in this area. And it's a huge part of Zone 3 and Rush, okay? Team Deathmatch and Squad Deathmatch are also involved here. Okay, so this is the biggest part of this map, and this map comes out a lot. So you really want to sort of have this down and be able to know it, and that's why there's a lot. First though, you'll see we do have shack, shed, and house, and storage. Okay, they're all sort of around there. These are the different types of building, okay? The storage ones are like that Zone 2 storage, I just put Z2 for short. They're the ones that are big building, they sort of have garages on the side, but we don't call them garages because as you see, number 3, action garages around the top of your screen. Those are what we call garages, okay, sort of into the wall. These we just call storage, like a storage facility. Now when we go to shacks, shacks are what we refer to, they're sort of open and they have stairs going to the roof. So all those buildings that are sort of open and have stairs we can climb onto their roof, but they don't really have anything on the floors or any walls dividing them, that's a shack. If we look at number 7, we have houses. Houses are the ones that are only one story. You can't get on the roof unless you parachute in or something like that, okay? But they do have a few little rooms. We call those a house, and the sheds, again, we know what sheds are and we've done that. So that just sort of differentiates what these buildings are. And then you can see, we go down on the bottom, we have over near the gas station, we have some stuff over there, we have the construction sites and everything. But now when we look up at the top, the middle of the screen, we see it's got a lot going on. So what I want to do, sort of clean that up for you. So if we go right here, I've cleaned it up. You can see what we did, we just tried to label these areas. The green on the left is noob, and we just call it the noob area. So if you don't want to say noob house, noob shed, noob shack, whatever, here you go. You can just say they're in the noob area. We move over into the yellow action area. And really, I don't know if that is the most action. I don't know. I get a lot of action in the noob area, but we just call that the action area because it is sort of in the middle. And if we push over to the blue area, that's the kitty. And we sort of have kitty corner and kitty house. And we just call that kitty because really you shouldn't be over there that much. There's not that much going on over there. So if you're over there, you're playing like a little kid in our opinion. And we're just joking. I mean, I'm over there sometimes in the map, so I'm not judging anyone. That's just how we call it. And you know, we find if you make up funny names for it, sort of sticks better. So here, those are the basic areas. You get those 3 zones down, whatever you want to name them, you have them down. You're going to be able to help your team out a lot with that. So you can look through the rest of those on your own. What I want to do now is sort of zoom in because those 2 roads sort of block our view where the Bravo flag would be in Conquest and where the Bravo objective is in Rush. Let's zoom in and just show you this view. Number 4 on the left, that's the overpass. That's what we call the overpass. A lot of people will climb up there, especially snipers and stuff. We do have a few streets down here. You'll see behind me, I'm on Lower Street. In front of me, we call it Flag Street. And then we can see the constructions again, and we see the double stacks over there. So it shows you what's going on over there. You can look at that and sort of figure those out and keep them down. And again, on the right, you know, we do have double stacks. And we just call the noob double stack because it's more on the noob side. And then Bravo double stack because that is where the Bravo objective is. And we're going to move into the last zone, Zone 4. Again, just used for Rush. So you can see all the action was in that Zone 3. Here in Zone 4, the bus depot, we have a few callouts for you to look at. First, we're going to show you attacker side, defender side, and then we call it Bravo side and Alpha side, which, you know, sometimes I try to shy away from that and I try to name, you know, vicinity, like areas, mountains or whatever. But I think on here it is sort of linear and sort of nice to see. You can see that very easily. And then here, you know, you can look at them, you can see them. That big white tower, we just call White Tower. And you can think of something funny for it if you want. But it's a pretty popular area and that can sort of orient where you're at. And then we have A on the right. And there are a lot of buses around A. We name Alpha Bus just because that's the one, you know, right on the objective. And the rest we just sort of called middle buses. If you know you struggle a lot with people camping a lot of those different buses, you could label them yourself. And you see we still have storage going on. We have houses. We have offices. All those same names coming back. So keep those in mind, look it over, and use it to your team's advantage. And that finishes off this video. Hopefully you can take some of these callouts, you can modify them to work for you, and you can use them to you and your squad's advantage. Remember to go in the description and check for the links to Twitter and Facebook so you can get involved with upcoming videos. And also if you want to see the other callout videos I've done, you can look on the right hand side and you should see the playlist, which includes the other ones I've done so far. Thanks guys and gals, have a great day.